Go bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh my God. She's the worst. She's the fucking worst.
Once again, Apple TV Plus is solidifying itself as one of the best, if not the best, streaming platform there is right now, because The Widow's Bay is easily the best surprise I got in 2026. It's a smart TV show, it's a funny TV show, and it's captivating, and it also has a very interesting lore, which allows me to deep dive into it. And as you know my channel, if you know my channel, this is what exactly I'm doing here. This is exactly my lane. And now that season 1 is over and we have some amazing news that season 2 is already confirmed and it has the green light to go, I think it's a very good time to summarize the first season, explain the ending of the season, and think together what to expect in season 2. So if you're ready, let's start. So the history of Widow's Bay starts in 1681. We know that a man named Richard Warren was leading a team of 42 or 33 passengers.
42 passengers from the mainland embarked by sea to find a settlement they could call their own.
43 passengers in...
I think it's a little early for that story, Jerry.
To find some new lands in New England, obviously. And when they arrived to this land, they were basically met by no one other than bones and teeth of some people.
Except for the teeth.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is that there were no people here.
Which is kind of already gave away that this is gonna be some creepy island, but it didn't stop them to try and build their new settlements. And all of it was happening during one of the harshest winter possible. No food, no normal shelter, basically absolutely no conditions for survival, especially in 1681. But at some point, Richard Warren was able to discover a little piece of food, a small tiny mushroom. Now apparently this island has a unique mushroom that you're not gonna be able to find anywhere on our planet, and it's been called by locals as true sight.
Old timers call that thing true sight.
Because you see, when you eat this mushroom, you are visited by different hallucinations. But it's not just an ordinary psychedelic mushroom that basically gives you hallucinations that can be explained by science. No, this is actually also giving you a direct line with the island itself, or some evil force that is basically living there and feeding on human souls and their fear. Through the magical mushroom, this evil entity promised Richard Warren a survival in case he will make a pact, a covenant with him.
And I signed that pact with my own blood, feces, and semen.
Now, we don't know exactly what the pact means, but we can assume that from time to time, the island or the evil force behind it will demand a sacrifice. Scared people that the monster that lives under the ground can eat, devour, and basically feed on them.
But I was starving, and it was starving too.
And if Richard Warren will provide said sacrifice, they will flourish, they will see food, and they will be able to live and survive in this island. So obviously Richard Warren decides to go in with it because he wanted to protect himself.
In those frightened men will do desperate things.
Another thing that it's also not directly said to us in the TV show, but we can logically assume that it's probably true, is that when the settlers built the first church and provided it with the bell, the entity told Richard Warren that it will let know how many souls it wants to devour with the amount of bell tolls.
1 soul for each bell toll.
So if, for example, the bell rings 5 times, the entity, the island wants to eat 5 souls, just like it happened in episode 6 in the period of Richard Warren when Sarah arrived. We're gonna talk about Sarah in a while.
That's such an hour.
Or when this TV show starts in our period in episode 2, we are hearing 9 bell tolls, which means that the island wants 9 souls for it to stop torturing the locals. Now, we do know that Richard Warren at some point kills his own wife.
He killed my mother.
And later he's been revenged by his own son for this action. But in 16 September 1702, there is a girl, a woman named Sarah who arrives to Widow's Bay in order to marry Richard Warren. Very fast she discovers that Richard Warren is possessed by some evil force or in pact with some evil force. She understands that she's in danger and she requests help from a local priest, and she eventually gets it. Richard Warren is being buried alive right next to the church, and this island, this entity, because of the pact, because of everything it gave to Richard Warren, also gives him an immortal life. So he has been buried alive for hundreds and hundreds of years. But Sarah is trying to save Richard's children. She's trying to take them into a merchant ship that will basically take them to the mainland. But she doesn't know that the pact also created a curse for this place. Richard Warren and his descendants, and actually everybody else who is born on this island, cannot leave it. It's been guarded probably by some tentacled monster.
It struck from below. This thing was big. And then I hear Ricky say he saw tentacles.
And if you're trying to leave it, you're gonna be either stopped by it or you will be stopped by some other magical force. So once again, we don't know exactly what happened, but most likely everybody in Richard Warren's family died other than his little daughter. So his family line survived, and with it, of course, the pact and the curse of this place. And this is why from time to time, every couple of years, the islands demand the sacrifice. And at some point, the people on this island actually created like some kind of a cult organization that basically its main purpose is to satisfy the island's needs and to give it said sacrifice as the island or this evil force, this evil entity actually wants it. But no matter what happened through the years, Richard Warren's family line survived, and we know now in episode 10 that the last descendant, of course, is Ruth, the secretary for the local mayor, Loftis. But I think everybody pretty much suspected that it's not gonna be ending with Ruth, because we've been presented with a very amazing example of the trolley problem. I first got introduced to it in a very good TV show called The Good Place. If you haven't watched it, it's one of the best TV shows ever. Once again, it's funny, it's smart, and it presents so many interesting philosophical things, questions, ideas for you. So when you rewatch it, you every time gonna think about something else. But let's get back to Widow's Bay, because we're not talking here about Good Place, even though it's an amazing TV show also. But we know the trolley problem is basically saying that if there's a trolley that is about to kill a couple of people and you can actually switch it so it will kill only one person, will you do it? And a lot of people actually saying, well, yeah, I will, because then I will be saving 5 people and just sacrificing one person. So 5 against 1, it's not a very difficult choice. But then we add something extra to this equation. Let's say this one person is your mother or father or a child, yours child. Will you be able to sacrifice just one person to save 5 people? And then most of the people will say, well, definitely not. This is my child. I will kill 500 people easily just to save my child. For most of the people, this is actually true. So, and this is exactly what we are seeing in Widow's Bay, because we can see the hypocrisy here. We are always presented with love being something amazing, and usually it is, but then again, love can push us to do some evil things, right? Something that is not logically, morally, exactly 100% correct. Like in this situation with Loftis, he is giving himself a lot of reasons why he needs to kill Ruth, because killing just one person and saving a whole island and his son and everybody who is about to be born here in this place, every future person that is still not even yet born and can actually live a normal life in this place, by killing just one old lady who has been left, what, a couple of years maximum, what, 3, 4, 5 years? That's an easy choice, right? But as soon as the equation flips on Loftis and he needs to choose between his own son and the whole island, the decision is not that simple anymore, right? Fuck the island. I'm gonna do whatever I can to save my son. And I think somebody can judge him at this situation, but if you're a parent, you agree with him 100 million %. You will never sacrifice your child, no matter what. You will sacrifice yourself for your child, but never your own freaking kid. Never. So our TV show starts with the island waking up. There is an earthquake and suddenly some people are being taken by the fog and they are basically die. So can we assume that this was actually the first sacrifice for the island? Is island taking souls just like this? If, for example, somebody just dies? Is it actually one of the 9 people that the island demanded? I don't know exactly 100%. It does make sense to me, even though after the whole season, I don't think 9 people died and now the island can actually rest for the next time. But I actually believe that maybe the second explanation why suddenly a lot of evil, scary things are happening here is more logical, because we've been told by the cult people there that this place loves fear.
Their fear is necessary. They say it likes the taste.
It likes the taste of it for some reason. Like, if it's not creepy, I mean, who's gonna take it to the horror series, right? So making those zombies come to life, and the hag, and those weird ritual that Patricia was doing in episode 4, all this was probably to create as much fear as possible. So when you eventually do get the souls, you will feed on them because they're now way more tasty. Apparently, this is the logic, right? Without fear, not so much. Put some salt, some fear, maybe a little bit garlic, and then I can eat it. Come on. Now, what's interesting for me is who actually built this whole underground tunnel systems, because we know that it was already pretty much there in Richard Warren's period, and it does look like he was the one to probably create it. Or maybe he wasn't, because once again, when they arrived to the island, they were already teeth there, right?
Blank canvas, totally empty island.
Except for the teeth.
Yeah.
And it would make a lot of more sense to me that it was this cult that made this whole sacrificing thing as a system for them. Like, you have a manual, you have like a video. Once again, gave me a couple of Dharma vibes from Lost, but you know, this is not topic again. I'm starting to jump from topic to topic. But once again, who built this underground system? Was it there already when Richard Warren arrived, or he was the one to build it with other settlers? Once again, how? Because it doesn't seem like anybody else knows about this place until Sarah actually discovers it in episode 6. Maybe he just built it with some people and then sacrificed all of them for this monster that lives there. There is another very interesting question that I really want to get an answer to, hopefully in the next season, is about how this whole pact between Richard Warren and his bloodline and this island, actually works, because Richard Warren got immortality from it, right? But his daughter not, right? Everybody somehow aged and died, and we can see that Ruth is aging, obviously, but then again, she's been shot by Bashir and nothing really happens. So, well, she is still somehow alive, right? Is it possible that even though those people, the descendants, still don't have any immortality, they still have some kind of a benefits, maybe a longevity, maybe being more immune and having a quicker recovery, almost on the supernatural level? Possible. Hopefully, once again, something we're gonna see in the next season. And I'm really happy that Ruth survived. She is an amazing character. Apparently, she was just like, you know, a comic relief for the whole season, but in the end of the TV show, she stole the episode for me. The way she acted, like their whole character, her vibe, her energy, that maybe once again is coming from the curse, because once again, the island is doing whatever it can to make sure the descendants of Richard Warren will be alive. But still, she is, you know, she's amazing, and hopefully we're gonna see more of her on season 2. And also, Loftus's wife did eventually die in the hospice, in the asylum, right? But she had this clinical almost death when she tried to leave the island, and Loftus is even admitting that he was pushing her, even though he knew that this island is never gonna let her go, because he just didn't want to accept the truth about this place, and he wanted to believe that there is some future for him and his son outside of this island on the mainland, which is probably understandable. Not anybody can be weak in this situation. You really need to make a leap of faith. I mean, if at some point in my life I will start seeing some weird things, it will take a while until I'm actually going to believe that something supernatural actually exists. A couple of weird sounds on my kitchen is not going to be enough, right? So let me ask you this, I didn't have enough time to go through all 10 episodes again and count everybody who died, but I'm remembering Shep Clark in episode 1, the pastor killed himself, some people died from the hands of the boogeyman, I think. I don't remember exactly how many, but I don't think we so far have seen exactly 9 deaths, right? Exactly as the number of the bell tolls in episode 2. There is also the mushroom guy that also was killed in episode 9, but why did the island give up? did it actually receive 9 people, 9 souls, and we didn't see just all of them? Or it's just, you gave me a little snack, so here you go, a small break from the bad weather, and now let's keep on going. Just give me more sacrifices. In a couple of days, I'm gonna start torturing you again. And obviously, everybody expected that Evan is gonna be the descendant. It's been hinted heavily through the whole season. It's not a big surprise, right? But I was so happy still that it happened, because now Loftis and everybody else doesn't have any other choice but to actually find a way to fight the evil force, to fight this evil entity, the island itself. To destroy the curse, you need to destroy this evil force that has basically created this place as it is right now, with all of those evil things that come to life and hunt everybody else. So this is way more interesting lore-wise. They will need to learn what it is. In order for you to know how to destroy it, you need to know what the fuck it is and how do you actually fight it, what it fears, what actually can hurt it, right? This is the only way. If you have seen Supernatural, all its 15 seasons, first you need to know what the hell are you dealing with, and then you will know how to fight it. So yeah, hopefully season 2 will be our characters actually doing whatever they can to stop this, and Loftis actually convincing Wick to not kill his son and to not finish the job on Ruth, because it's not gonna be enough. So there's a lot of interesting conflicts coming in. So yeah, season 2 unfortunately cannot come soon enough, but once again, we live in 2026 and streaming platforms, they take years and years between seasons, so fuck. And to summarize, Widow's Bay has an interesting lore that is being presented to us right away. They're not hiding almost anything, but they still leave interesting riddles and clues that we still don't know what the hell they were about. Like, for example, the calendar in episode 1, or what happened to passenger number 43 on the ship that discovered this island, and what is this evil entity that's hunting everybody? How do you fight it? So many interesting things that we are yet to discover, but it's also been accompanied by, as I told you, very interesting dry humor. I laughed out loud many times during this TV show. Amazing acting. I mean, of course, Matthew Rhys and everybody else. Patricia became my favorite this TV show. Her actually killing the boogeyman is one of my favorite scenes this year by far, compared to any other TV show that you can actually think of. So I'm so happy that it's been renewed and we're gonna get continuation, because it's very rare when we get a very good TV show that is based on an original story. It's not an adaptation of a book, of, I don't know, some kind of a movie from 20 years ago, etc. It's an original story, it's funny, it's interesting, it gives us a place to deep dive, to think, to build some theories, to make our community more active as we wait for the next episode or the next season. So this is definitely my lane. This is definitely something that I will suggest everybody to just give it a chance. If you're not gonna like it, you're not gonna like it. Nothing bad about that. We are still different people and we have different taste in TV shows. But I do believe that this is a TV show that you definitely need to give a chance. And if you're gonna enjoy this, especially after episode 3, you will be hooked and you're not gonna be able to stop. One of the best TV shows of this year, probably the best new TV show of the year, and I don't know if somebody will be able to actually dethrone it until the end of 2026. Let me know what you think about this. Did you watch The Widow's Bay? Did you like it? Is there something else that maybe I didn't talk about? I'm obviously not as knowledgeable about this TV show as I am about From or Severance or even Silo, because I've just rewatched it a couple of times and it's not yet that popular and I don't have enough views that will actually legitimize me spending hours and hours and hours on this TV show trying to find some new information. But I'm here for you, my audience. So if there's something that you want me to do, like if there's a question that is keep bothering you and bugging you, I will deep dive no matter how many views this video will get, because once again, without you, I'm just a crazy person that talks to my camera. So of course, if you want something, I will do whatever I can to provide it for you. Just let me know in the comments. And as usual, I want to thank everybody who supports me on Patreon, YouTube members. It's all a very nice support, but I keep telling you this and I will always keep telling you this. I just need you to enjoy my videos. If you don't enjoy them, let me know what I can improve. But if you do enjoy them, I'm not gonna ask you for anything else in return. Just if you want, at some point, and it comes from the heart, The likes, the subscribes, and everything else is just a very nice but still just a bonus. So thank you so much. I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Meanwhile, bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.